This guy's family slammed a marriage decree on the table and ordered him to marry a total stranger. He said no. That single word cost him his family, his home, and years later the entire continent burned for it. And when he finally became the strongest being alive, he spent all of that power on one wish. To go back and say yes, this is I married the dragon I killed. And this is everything that happens. It starts in his father's office. Ferda, the talentless third son of a powerful mage family, summoned to hear his fate. The order, marry the Grand Duke Valdrova. Sight unseen. No discussion. His father doesn't even pretend it's a request. Take the marriage or lose the family name. To understand why Ferda snaps, you need his childhood. He was born with almost no magic in a family that worships it. The whole estate whispers about him. The disappointment. The dead branch. So he trains. Every single day. Until his hands bleed. Chasing talent that never comes. And a smug young genius with a perfect bloodline makes sure he never forgets the gap between them. His sword shatters on the stone. Something in him cracks with it. He cries where nobody can see. Then he gets up and trains again. So when the marriage decree lands, years of swallowed humiliation come out at once. He refuses, and tells them he is done being their family. They let him go. One bag, the golden gates close behind him. 18 years of trying, erased in an afternoon. That night, alone in the dark, a red magic circle flickers to life above his hands. He swears revenge on every single one of them. At the academy they laugh in his face. 18 is way too old to awaken as a mage. Then his aura detonates, and the whole room goes silent. Turns out hatred is one hell of a catalyst. His power keeps growing. Darker, sharper, heavier than anything they can teach. Years later, an archmage walks home to the family mansion under a blood-red moon. He erases the family name in a single night. No mercy. Not for the father who discarded him. The continent answers. Kingdoms send armies, and they corner him in a canyon at night. He walks out alone. Every single time. By now he isn't chasing revenge anymore. He's chasing godhood. And the last ingredient is written in one ancient book. The heart of the red dragon, Valdrova. Yes. The same name as the fiancée he rejected. He finds her on a mountain under a full moon. The tyrant dragon the whole world whispers about. But mid-battle she starts talking. About being called a tyrant by people she never touched. About hiding from the human world her entire life. And he screams right back. About greed, about being thrown away like a broken tool. Two monsters the world made, roaring at each other on a mountain. Then she stops fighting, and drives her own claw into her chest. She tears out her glowing heart and holds it out to him. Take it. He can't process it. He demands to know why she won't just kill him. The answer is her whole life. Born with cursed blood. A village burning just because she existed. Centuries curled up alone in the dark. A dragon crying a single tear. She never chose any of it. He takes the heart. And the moment it merges with him, he sees everything. Her memories answer his. A lonely little boy at a giant empty table, drawing a family in crayon. Both of them wanted exactly one thing. Family. The strongest being alive stands over the dragon he killed. And cries. So he pours it all away. Godhood, revenge, every drop of power into one final spell. A wish. His eyes snap open on the morning of the engagement decree. His father is mid-lecture, scolding him for daydreaming. It's the exact day everything went wrong. The engagement to Grand Duke Valdrova is on the table again. He puts a hand over the red brooch on his chest. And this time he says yes. Round 2 of his old life starts at the Rosnova estate, where nothing has changed. His brother Hukin, the second son, still gets dressed by a squad of maids. Hukin bursts into Ferda's room mid-packing, ready to gloat about the dragon marriage. And short circuits. The trash third son is dressing himself, packing himself, completely calm. The mockery bounces off. Ferda has lived whole decades past these people. Insults from a man he once erased don't even register. He just smirks, wishes them a pleasant life, and walks. At the carriage, his old butler cries into a handkerchief. The loyal servant, heartbroken to see the young master go. Except Ferda remembers this butler from the last timeline. The tears are theater. This man helped poison him. So he lays a hand on the man's shoulder, smiles warmly, and says goodbye like he knows everything. The butler freezes solid. Then it's a carriage and a forest road, all the way out to Dragon Country. He gets dropped at the edge of nowhere with one suitcase. Apparently you walk the last stretch to a Grand Duke's castle. That's when a silver-haired maid steps out of the trees, curtsies, and points at a castle sitting on a mountain peak. The forest immediately tests him. Pack of wolves closes in. And the maid's eyes glow as she deletes the problem with magic. Normal maid things. Also, she has a tail. Ferda politely does not ask questions. At the top waits an iron door the size of a cathedral. His hand trembles as he reaches for it. The last time he stood before this dragon, he tore out her heart. Inside, the glowing mass of the red dragon fills the dark. And the first answer he gets is, go home. They throw the dowry gold back at him. His response? Sit down on the coin pile and shrug. He didn't come for money. The maid finally snaps. Horns out. Claws out. She pins him to the floor mid-sentence, one strike away from ending the engagement permanently. And that's when he connects the dots. The golden prince who came courting before him never made it home. Ferda's answer, flat on his back under a dragon's claw, is to smile and hold out his glowing hands. Ferda opens by cutting out the middleman. He intends to be Valdrova's fiancé, husband and wife, said to her face, not through servants. The demon maid's answer is another lunge. But when he doesn't flinch and doesn't fight back, something shifts. She steps off him, and bows. The message travels down into the cave, and we finally meet her. The Red Dragon, Grand Duke Valdrova. A horned, red-haired woman sitting alone in the dark. From her rocky throne she makes a decision that stuns her own maid. She will meet him, face him normally. Word comes back up. The engagement proceeds. The ceremony is set for 1 month out. But the maid is not letting some random human waltz in. Her master may be soft-hearted. She is not. Prove you qualify, fiancé. Ferda agrees to every term without blinking, which only makes her more suspicious. That night, alone in his room, he gets to work. He sits in a magic circle and reaches for the power that once erased armies. Nothing comes. This body is 18 again. The ocean of mana he died with stayed in the old timeline. All he kept are the memories, including the one where he stands over her body. Then the whole castle shakes. Something is happening outside, and nobody wants him looking at it. He slams the table. He's going. So the maid unfolds a pair of white wings and flies him there herself. He lands nauseous, dignity mostly intact. Below them, an abyss crawling with giant centipedes and serpent monsters, pressing into the dragon's territory. And then Valdrova rises in her true form, wings spread wide against the dark. One pillar of dragonfire swallows the entire landscape. Infestation deleted. Ferda, the man who once fought this creature to the death, sinks to his knees clutching his chest. This is what he killed. Barely. He watches her true form burn against the night, and the chapter ends with him understanding exactly what he is marrying. Chapter 4 picks up with Ferda still shaking in front of the transformed dragon. And then his fear does something nobody expected. It melts into a blushing little smile. He thinks she's beautiful. The maid looks physically ill. That evening he lies out on the grass replaying a dragon fight. Not the one he just watched. The one from his last life. And that's when the red gem on his chest starts to glow. Pain doubles him over as the gem pulls him under. He wakes floating above a sea of red energy. Her heart. The power of the dragon heart he carried through the wish never left him. In the vision he compresses that storm down to a single point, until a magic circle burns in his palm. Back in the waking world he tells the maid straight, I am no ordinary person. This time she almost believes him. Next morning there's a complete training ground outside, target dummies and all. The maid built it overnight. Of course she did. Her training advice turns out useless though. She's dragon spawn. For her kind, mana control is like breathing. For a human, it's primitive manual labor. So he does it the human way. Focus like a single drop hitting still water. 1 glowing red mana orb. Then 3 orbiting his fingers. Then a mana shot that blows a training dummy apart. The talentless third son is gone. This is an archmage rebuilding himself from memory. Down in the cave, the maid reports in. His behavior is flawless. Suspiciously flawless. And Valdrova makes her second big decision. She chooses to trust him. More than trust. There is something she has decided to entrust to him. A stone door creaks open on a glow, and Chapter 4 leaves us staring straight into it. Chapter 5 widens the world. Lords from across the region are summoned to the duchy, and the rumor mill is frothing about the Grand Duke's new human fiancé. The consensus. The Rosnova third son is a nobody who will be torn apart inside a month. Meanwhile, the nobody walks through the castle's glowing entrance in a fitted red coat. Library homework first. Her title isn't decorative. The records show a war between dragons behind it, and a rise to power written in fire. The arrangement. She holds the territory's power, he handles its people. Lady of the house duties. Their words, not his. So he stands at a round table, one man in red facing the old guard. He bows. Full courtesy. The insults come anyway. A 4-circle mage gets mentioned like a trump card. Ferda shrugs. Not bad. The room nearly combusts. One challenge later there's a duel. Arena. Ferda versus their champion. He politely asks what magic the man plans to use, and admits he himself only really knows the basics. The laughing starts. Then his circle ignites. It is not blue and it is not standard. The stands go quiet as someone whispers it. A red circle. For red orbs orbit him, calm as planets. The champion stacks barrier after barrier. They crack, fracture, and shatter like sugar glass. It ends with a hand pressed to the man's head and one question. Do you concede? The beaten mage takes it with grace. He kneels, shakes hands, gives his name. The Salos Vulture. and Ferda freezes because he knows that name from his last life. Then the chapter turns cold. Amana shot, blood on the arena floor, horrified onlookers, and Ferda standing over a bloodied figure with ice in his eyes. Whoever pushed him that far, Chapter 6 explains. Chapter 6 opens on the aftermath. The arena has gone silent, the old lords are gray, and the noble who crossed the line is on the ground, not getting up. Ferda walks past the body, face splattered red, calm as a Sunday stroll. No rage, no trembling. The lords finally understand what the rumors missed. The fiancé might be scarier than the dragon. The ride home is less composed. He slumps in the carriage, head splitting. A dark aura coils around his chest. The heart gem's power is not free, and something inside him is straining. The maid briefs him on the next obstacle, and his first guess is Thessalos. That name from his past life keeps circling. Also, there is a mysterious tide bag riding along on the carriage seat. Remember the bag. They pay a visit to the dead lord's estate, where a tearful old butler receives them. The bag situation resolves in the worst possible way. The maid cheerfully offers to fetch the severed head to prove a point. A scream echoes over the castle at sunset. Then Ferda starts feeling along the floorboards. Something is underneath this house. The maid's answer to a locked entrance is a punch that craters the floor. A stone staircase spirals down into the dark. And the bottom is a nightmare. A blood-stained laboratory. Skeletal remains. Dismembered limbs. A corpse still in chains. The research papers hit harder than the bodies. Ferda recognizes this work. Runes and formulas tied straight back to his past life. His verdict is one cold order. Destroy the laboratory. Blue fire swallows the lab whole, and Ferda watches it burn with a faint smile that unsettles even the maid. Somewhere else entirely, a hooded figure spreads their arms in a stone chamber as magic swirls. Whoever ran that lab has friends. And the chapter closes soft. Talk of the ceremony by firelight, and two hands finding each other, both of them surprised it happened. That is everything released so far. The ceremony is a month out. A hooded problem is warming up in the dark, and part 2 drops the moment new chapters do. You know what to do.